Okay, what we got going on here is we're going to drill the holes for the window frames, and we're going to use that brand new window as a template. So I'm going to turn that around and place that on top and clamp it up and drill each hole. I've got the right size drill bit for it, checked it, make sure it fits perfect. So I'll get to clamping that up now perfectly, and I'll drill each hole right the way through. Okay, finally found the clamps. Just don't want this to move around on you while you're drilling, so clamping it up is probably the best option. Not too tight, just to hold it. Okay, got the window frames all sanded up. Just need to varnish them, or I'm going to stain them first and then varnish them. Just going to take my paint brush and go over them with a nice coating. I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch it, because it'll take some time. Let me just speed this up for you guys.
So many different religions, I don't have the time to name them. Is each one a different road that is made from the same pavement? Does every road out there go to the same destination? Does every religion offer us the same salvation? Can mankind make an image of a God and be convinced that the God that they imagine in their mind is a God that exists? But if God made man, how can man make a God and make a claim that God is confined to fit within a frame? How can mankind decide how God should be identified? Can you alter the truth if you accept or deny? Do the stars disappear when the blind look at the sky, or do they simply fail to see what was there the whole time? Is this flesh all that we have? Is life over when we die? Is this rotting body all that we got? Is there a soul inside? Is there no absolutes in this life? No truth, no wrong, no right, no dark, no light, no. If God is love, why does he allow the hatred? If he wiped out the wicked, the whole earth would be vacant. He is our breath of life, but our sins suffocated and separated. This necessitated resuscitation for spiritual respiration and reconciliation, to recognize our desperation for restoration from the devastation of sin's domination. Who can save us? To God alone belongs salvation.
My dragon skin was torn out. Was torn out. Now my blood is thickening up, and I am longing to be free. Only you can save me. Save me. Only you can save me.
Locked into so many self-incarcerated cages. Swallow the keys to our future freedom from past ages. Persuaded and traded a king for crowns. Evil invaded, predicated situation of insolence towards its imminence. As much as we try to conceal it, there's really no restraining. The penance for pursuing profane pleasure is payment, and death is what its wages. It kills, but it's contagious. We lust because we love it. He's just, but we just jaded. It seems hopeless when we focus on the consequence. Criminals continue killing conscience and common sense, remaining obstinate. So we play it low, die slow, face the arraignment. We plead no contest and contempt for no containment. No pardon for guilty parties, cause no person is perfect. So God in the second person of the Trinity permanently purchases with a perfect purpose, death of an infinite worth, raising from the earth to assert certain prophetic words, serving as a substitute to completely reverse the curse, earnestly pursuing love to fulfill the Father's work. His design to save is the graciousness of his greatness. Salvation placed the center stage for the rock of ages. By trusting in his unblemished blood, we become blameless and pardoned for our sin, because God alone can save us.
My dragon skin was torn out. Was torn out. Now my blood is thickening up, and I am longing to be free. Only you can save me. Save me. Only you can 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 carry me away. Only you can breathe life in me. Only you can save me. Only you can save. Only you can save me. Only you can save me.
When I'm in the storm, you remain good to me, good to me.
Sure, this shiny wood is really starting to pile up here. It's looking good though. It's looking good. Slowly, slowly. Okay, here we have the tiller that I've sanded down. Pretty nice and smooth, apart from some of these nasty little repairs that have been made before. I think it's from autopilots and tiller controllers that have been fitted or something in the past, and then it looks like someone's just used gel coat repair or filler on there. So I'm going to drill all those white bits out, and I've got a nice little trick. If you just take a bit of old hardwood that you got laying around, I've got this nice little piece that I'll sand down and get some sort of, because I think it kind of matches the shading, and I'll sand it down, make some sawdust, and I'll mix it into some epoxy. I'm using this Blue G epoxy. It's really good stuff. I'll mix some sawdust within that, and then fill each one. I'll drill this white out and then fill all this nonsense here, and then I might just epoxy the whole tiller to make it nice and shiny in the end. I'll show you how that comes out next. Making some sawdust, making some sawdust. Yeah, I got that much so far. Look, can you see? It's good. Good stuff. Keep on sanding. Okay, I've been sanding for a while, and I got myself a nice little pile of sawdust. Now I just got to mix that in the epoxy and fill them holes.
I'm in the storm, you're mine, good to me, good to me.
When it's midnight and the gray skies fade to black, the waves splash and set me off track, so my vessel might crash or collapse. When I'm attacked and start wrestling in my head with these bad memories from my past, I'm aware of my guilt, overwhelmed in the smell of my blood as the sharks that surround me cast under a spell. They waited for me to fall, but when I fell, the water got still, and the blood that was spilled protects me. It's the same blood that cleansed me, my only defense against my nemesis. Now I can rest, knowing that nothing can come against me unless the Father gives consent. Evil intentions will not disturb God's purposes or interfere, so who shall I fear if my anchor is secure?
Okay, so we've come back the next day, and our epoxy and sawdust fill has hardened up. Now I'm just going to take a nice block and sand that down. I've got these cool Dura blocks, they're amazing, nice and flat. Put that guy on there.
Learning to consider it pure joy when I'm facing tribulations, praising God instead of complaining and getting overtaken with bitterness. Looking at the pages of the book of James and seeing the ways that God works through the trials to make us more mature in our faith. It reminds me how desperate I am in this desert land, thirsty for your mercy and plan while you give me the strength to stand. You're my greatest pleasure, yeah, no matter the weather I face, Lord, you never forsake my fragile life.
Once we epoxy this whole thing, that little, hopefully you can see it nicely, that'll just blend in real good. I'll wet it a bit. Looks better than a white dots, eh? Alright, let me get to sanding the rest of this, and we'll get back after. Done all the sanding now, came out real nice, real smooth. Hopefully you can pick up that was the biggest repair. And then a lot of little spots. All that's left now is to epoxy this bad boy. Sure, it'll look real good. Okay, I've been doing some sewing machine buying, and this was the first one that I purchased. Cool little thing, old school, Jones, off eBay, paid like £50 for it, and it does forward, reverse, some zigzag and straight stitch. I did some research on the, just looking for the model number here. Model number is there, 1681. Have a look at YouTube. There's a very cool lady that does a video which swayed my decision to get one of these. And so far I've been doing all the sewing on that. It's been very good. But then once I get into something, I did a bit more video watching in that, and I found this one for really cheap as well. It was under £50, and it comes with this nice, cool, old school case. Got to put a key in there. And if you have a look at this guy on the finding a place for that lid. If you have a look at this guy on the net, the Friston Rossmann, and that's the model number, what was it? Oh, it's a Model G. Model G. This thing works pretty awesome as well. Both of them can sew through 4 layers of leather, 4 layers of sailcloth. Anything, no problem. But this is only a straight stitch, but I think this is a bit more powerful than that Jones machine. But yeah, these are the two that I would recommend. If you can pick one up for cheap enough, go with that. Pretty good, pretty straight.